Hello, everyone. We are back, second half of the stream. Uh, we have Andrew here, and there's also a special guest with us. Then we are going to introduce soon. We are going to talk about the Zig Roadmap for, I guess, 2021, the first half of 2021. Well, the part that is in front of us. So, Andrew, tell us a little bit about the roadmap, but as a starters, before we go into like the future, let's talk about what's happening now. So what are the notable things that people should know about that we are doing today?
Well, one of the things that we started in this release cycle is we broke ground on the official language specification. And in order to tell you about that, I would like to introduce to you a very bundled up and cold living in Texas, Martin Wickham, who we have with us
Hello.
right now.
Yeah, it's cold here. So hi everyone. I've been working on the specking effort along with Andrew and Josh, and our goals right now are really to figure out the bounds of the language. You know, we want to keep Zig as a small, simple language, and that means figuring out where it ends. And so our goal with these meetings is to narrow down where the language ends and figure out sort of how all the pieces are going to work and how they're going to interact to provide infinite, language usage without having an infinite language. And so we've been doing those meetings, and that's been really helpful. And then eventually, once we find out once we figure all that out, then we'll start building the actual written spec.
Very exciting. Thanks for coming on and using your valuable
Yeah.
phone battery life to share that with us.
My pleasure. Yeah. Best of luck, guys.
Thank you, Specs. Thank you very much. By the way, for the people asking, Specs is in one of the areas in the United States affected by power outages. That's why he cannot be in video with us today. I actually did not expect he would show up.
Austin is not doing so hot right now.
But how are you? Are you doing fine, Specs?
Well, I've been without power for 2 days at this point, and all of the heating in Texas is electric. So we're at like 47 degrees and holding at this point, which is like 8.8 Celsius. But we're getting through it. Yeah.
I see. That sounds terrible. I cannot imagine 2 days without like my computer. So, that's a good moment to buy an Apple M1 if they give you it to you pre-charged.
Yeah, actually, my girlfriend works for ARM, so we have one.
Amazing. So you're good, basically. It's just the call, the problem. Do you have an Intel CPU laying somewhere? You can fix that. Well, anyway. Well, thank you again.
Yep. See you guys.
Yeah. Thanks, Martin.
Yeah.
To elaborate on that, so the main way that we're making progress on the spec right now is closing issues, whether by accepting them or rejecting them. And we're doing weekly meetings, and I want to make sure it's clear. One guest per week is welcome to join. So if you have opinions about the Zig language, and you want to share your opinions with me and the other people who are making decisions about it, you're welcome to do that. So you can get in the queue. There's currently a wait of two weeks. I do prefer that it's people who we've seen, pop in the community and say hi, and that I like recognize your name. Otherwise, I don't know if you're just like some guy trying to troll me or something. But other than that, and everyone's welcome. So that's one of the things happening now. We are making measurable progress towards a spec. And Martin has been doing a wonderful job leading that effort. And I'm very happy to report that he's getting paid for his efforts, thanks to donations to the Zig Software Foundation. he's able to clock hours and charge for his valuable time. So I'm thankful to all the donors to Zig Software Foundation that allow us to do that. So that's one thing. What else is happening now? The big focus of this release cycle is self-hosted compiler. It's kind of the, in the game of pick up sticks, it's the big one that's on top of all the other ones that's preventing us from doing other things. We need a faster compiler, we need a less memory hungry compiler, and we need a more maintainable compiler that we can finish the language on. And that's what we've been sprinting towards here. And we have a lot of people doing awesome work on it. So I'm going to miss some contributors here. So I'm sorry for that. But I just want to acknowledge some in particular. Oh, no, he told me how to pronounce his name and I forgot. Wickham's been working on backend ARM support. That's been wonderful. He's been working closely with Jakub, who's been working on Macho linking, as well as on ARM, as well as x86 recently. I believe he was in the chat earlier reporting some progress on debug info for x86 macOS. Great work there. I've been doing some work on performance, messing with memory layout and prototyping some ideas to just make the self-hosted compiler just scream in terms of going fast. So we can look forward to actually fulfilling the promise of performance there. And I want to say thank you very much to Isaac Freund as well as Kivikak for contributing to the branch where I broke everything and we have to fix it. So it's been nice working with you all there. Luke has been working on the WASM backend. Great job there. Timon, also known as Firefox, been working on the self-hosted LLVM backend. Also great work there. And finally, Avexu has been working on the compiler front end and translate C. And we thought we were going to lose him to mandatory military service, but he's actually found some free time. So he's been able to do some contributions there. So great work, everyone who I listed. And I know I'm not mentioning a bunch of people. You are also valuable. What else is there? Right. That leads me to my next point. We're talking about the roadmap right now. And I'm mentioning that the main focus is the self-hosted compiler. That remains true. That's what I'm prioritizing. But there's a hack that you can do if you want to control the roadmap. And the hack is make a pull request, because I do always set aside time to merge pull requests. And I know they pile up a little bit. Right now we're looking at, what are we looking at, 44 open ones? Yeah, oldest one is a month or two old. So they pile up a little, but I do get to them. I do spend a lot of time merging pull requests and helping people get unblocked. So if you want to control the roadmap of Zig, you can with this one weird trick of making a pull request. Now, obviously, you can't just, you have to go along with the project. Maybe I'll want to push back and say that's not the direction I want things to go, or it's going to conflict or something. You still have to, coordinate and cooperate, but you can affect the priority by making pull requests. So use that responsibility wisely. As an example, I want to acknowledge King Pradi's synchronization efforts. I'm not sure, is that pull request ready to go? No, it's still a draft. But he's been doing a bunch of work on Zig's synchronization primitives, and I'm really excited to get that merged. That's an example of something that we're going to prioritize because King is doing the work of the pull request. And so there you go. He earned the priority there. Also, if you would like to contribute to self-hosted compiler, you are very welcome to. If it's intimidating, if you want to, but it's intimidating, here's my challenge to you. spend 5 minutes trying, maybe 10, maybe 20. Spend 20 minutes trying. Write down what you get stuck on, and then give up. Come to the next weekly stage 2 meeting on Discord and just tell everyone how you got stuck, and then we'll unstick you. And then you can be a stage 2 contributor. That's all it takes. Everyone is welcome to come. Everyone who wants to contribute to stage 2 is welcome. The purpose of these weekly meetings is to unblock you if you are blocked. So come on in. Yeah, and then finally, what else is happening now? LLVM has cut the release branch, 12.x. I am way behind on updating our LLVM 12 branch, but I will get there. I really need to I'm probably going to have to interrupt everything this week and just test with LLVM 12, because if we don't get our bug reports in, we're going to have regressions when they release. So I'm going to have to it's like a CPU interrupt. I got to just drop everything and report bugs on LLVM. So that's another thing that just came up, kind of an emergency. So that's another thing. And yeah, that's a lot of things happening now, but I think that's the list.
Thank you. Okay, so this is what we're working on today, and if I remember correctly, after the self-hosted compiler, which still is gonna take some time, right? It's not gonna go live super complete right away. There's gonna be like a transition phase, but the next big stone after the self-hosted compiler, I believe, is gonna be the official package manager. So, what can you tell us about that?
Yeah, well, one thing I can tell you is that the package manager is actually the main driving reason that we're focusing so hard on self-hosted right now. So my reasoning goes like this. If the package manager works well, people are going to use it. And if people use it, then we're going to see a proliferation of packages. And if we see a proliferation of packages, we're going to see projects that grow in number of lines of code, which is great because people will be depending on each other's code, and the Zig software out there will grow in dependency complexity and abilities of what kind of advanced software Zig is capable of creating. That's great. That's the desired outcome. But that means that the Zig compiler needs to be able to compile a lot of lines of code very quickly and without running you out of memory. And where we're sitting with our C++ based Zig implementation, it's not capable of handling that workload. It just can't do it. So that is to be clear, that is the driving force of why we're focusing so hard on self-hosted here. So yeah, the package manager is very important. And although we're focusing so much on the prerequisite, it's hard to see, this release cycle is not focusing on the package manager. It's going to be a future release cycle where the package manager is the central focus. I do want to personally be involved in the design of the package manager and lead the charge. So it's gonna have to happen after we can get to a milestone on the self-hosted compiler where I can spend that time on the package manager instead. But I want to be clear, the design process will happen in public, and not going to be like a Go situation here. So there's going to be plenty of time for the community out, share your experiences and ideas. We can have some iterations on the design of the package manager, that sort of thing. I also want to give credit where credit is due to Matt Knight and Megan for pioneering the field with Gyro and Zigmod, respectively. So these are the two kind of community-led efforts right now for if you want to try out package management in Zig without having the official one available yet, these are two projects you can check out. And I really appreciate them for working on them because they're solving the same problems that we're going to have to solve regardless. So it's all useful. And it also just gives us all some ideas, and experiences and some fodder for the design of the eventual upstream package manager. I want to be clear though, the end game here is going to be that everything happens automatically with Zig build and other subcommands of Zig. So it's not gonna there's not going to be like a separate binary, like Rust has cargo. It's not going to be like Zig and, whatever. It's just going to be Zig. There'll be subcommands. Because what we want is there to just be one binary and everyone has the same experience. And it's just like everything just works. But I still think that, Gyro and Zig Mod are still providing value, in the meantime, despite the fact that ultimately they're, it's, I will be pushing the official upstream package manager as the preferred method. A lot of the design decisions are still up in the air, but one thing that we know for sure is that it will be decentralized. So we will not have a main package index run by the Zig Software Foundation. That will not exist. However, it will work just fine with third-party package indexes. So if you want to run a curation site or your own, package registry or something like that, you're welcome to. I think that's the place where it's kind of like the more the merrier, it's fine. And Zig will just be more of this tool that can support these other, third-party projects. So that's all we know so far. There's going to be a release cycle in the future where we really focus on it and we do a couple iterations on it. We're just not there yet. We need the fast compiler as a prereq. That's where we're at.
Okay, thank you. Then let's talk about, I guess, the next big thing that is coming soon-ish, TM, which is the Zig Stability Program. I think I personally spent already a few words on it, but I think it would be nice to hear about it from you from a more technical perspective.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so the Zig Stability Program, it's a way for us to make Zig 1.0 not be a binary thing where we go from what's the word? Just like a volatile, immature, not, unstable, experimental, and then straight to completely stable, done, everything. It's a way to kind of more gradually approach 1.0. So the idea is that we can choose some features of Zig, some kind of like subsections of the project, and we'll say this is now covered by the Zig bug stability program. And so what it means is that that particular feature is covered by that particular feature will get bug fixes, and we will have bug fix releases in which we prioritize bug fixes for these features. So, for example, one of the features that we're going to cover under the Zig Stability Program soon would be Zig CC. So what that means is that once we announce coverage of it, it means that if there's a bug or like a regression or something's just working wrong, not an enhancement, right? We will first of all, we will release bug fix versions of Zig, zero, the third number, in order to address bugs in this feature, and bugs will be prioritized over other parts of the project, so that you can rest assured that at least these features aren't broken. They don't have bugs. However, we would still reserve the right to make breaking changes. It's bug stability, not feature stability.
Right, makes total sense, and I think, yeah, as you said, it's a way in which you can use Zig, get bug fixes, but not have to opt immediately into all the new potential breaking changes that we're going to make in your releases. So hopefully this will smooth out the path to adoption for certain people that have needs that we can already answer today, even if Zig is not yet fully completed. That was awesome. So, well, thank you very much. I won't press you with other questions about the future, because I'm sure that people in chat, we already have their good share of those. So let me scroll through the chat so I can start addressing what people have said. I would like to start with one point that I think this is not a question for you, but since we are here, let me just address it quickly. So Null Live is saying that Discord requires phone numbers, hates VPNs. Is there any plan to move away from Discord? I really appreciate how the IRC is super active. So Null Live, I guess this is more for me than anything else, because yes, there are different communities. Some are on Discord, some are somewhere else. Discord has a bunch of downsides, but it has also a bunch of good things that I think would be that I would like to take advantage of. Some I mentioned in the beginning of Showtime today, for example. I would say, and can you reach out to me? You can find my email address on Twitter. It's like loris@ziglang.org. Can you explain a little bit more in detail the issues that you are having with Discord? I won't promise that I can find a solution, but I would be curious to understand a little bit better, at least, how this is affecting you and maybe other people that just haven't said anything yet. So thank you.
Can I address that too?
Yeah, please. Thank you.
I personally would be willing to just hop around and use different venues for the weekly meetings. Like maybe it's on Discord one week, maybe it's on a different place another week. I'm fine with that. But yeah, I mean, it's just kind of like where are the people are doing the work and want to participate, and what do they prefer? And so far, that's been Discord.
Oh, yeah.
But as for me, I'm fine with personally. I'm fine with changing venues, but it's kind of like this: whoever puts agenda items on the agenda, if wherever most of those people are, that's where the meeting is going to be, as long as everyone can get there.
You're right, Andrew. So for some reason I forgot that yes, the meetings are run on Discord. Oh, yeah, I'm sure we can point this out. Like really reach out to me. I'll try to ask what other people are thinking, and I think it wouldn't be that bad to like just jump on a Jitsi call. It like takes nothing.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
So yeah, thank you by the way for reaching out. Let's see, questions for people. Okay, there's a couple of comments by Jacob about where the first Zig conference will happen, because he strongly believes that it should go on the roadmap. Well, Jacob, I don't know. Andrew, you want to say something?
No, I was laughing.
Okay, so from my perspective, that's a big question. I have two answers. I guess one is, I don't know. We need to understand a little bit better what the hell is going on with this pandemic, and when things are going to reopen, because there's a bunch of things are happening, delays and stuff. So I yet have no idea when we are even going to be able to move. And also, there's an argument to say that we should maybe not like do something the next day. Like there's probably not gonna be like a global opening all at the same time, and so we probably want to wait for like at least the majority of the people in one specific area to, let's say that we want to have the meeting, a first Zig conference, which by the way is gonna be like a glorified meetup. But let's say we want to have it in Europe, we need to wait for most of Europe to be open. And right now, I think the only country that is doing well enough to kinda start thinking about opening is the only country that is outside of Europe, because they decided to leave. So I don't know. On the other end, I would say that these should not stop people from thinking of setting up their own Zig meetups, like their own local Zig meetups. And actually, if you are thinking about this, again, reach out, let me know. I'll see what I can do to help you. We are not the Python Software Foundation. I will probably not be able to send you boxes with t-shirts, Python stickers and stuff. Sorry, Zig stickers, I guess, and stuff. But maybe we can use a little bit of budget to support your effort. It has to be discussed, but please reach out. Everything starts with your initiative, and then I'll try to follow up and help you in every way I can. That said, for me, like as the, let's say, the first Zig Showtime real life event, I don't know. There were during Andrew, you probably haven't seen this yet because I think you were sleeping while FOSDEM was happening. Which, oh, by the way, I forgot to mention this in the opening. We were at FOSDEM. We have a Zig Dev room at FOSDEM. The videos have been uploaded, I think yesterday. And you can, if you go to the Zig subreddit, you will find a link to those. So in the Q&A, we had these discussions where I was asking people, where do you want the first Zig conference to be? And of course there was a bunch of Dutch people that wanted it in the Netherlands, but I don't remember what were the other places. One was New York. Hayes was 100% set on New York. I don't know why. I think he kept saying that because this is where you were, even though you are not now there. So I don't know. But yeah. Okay, I don't know, Andrew. Where would you want the first Zig glorified meetup to be?
Anywhere but the US.
Why not? I mean, it's cold, missing power, coronavirus everywhere. Like, I'm joking. We're gonna have a bunch of stuff in the US for sure. But yeah, I think that the first one outside of the US would be interesting. Can you imagine?
We should do one in kind of Central Europe, and then we should do one in Australia, I think.
Ooh, nice. Can you imagine a tech thing that doesn't like start in California, doesn't have a conference in the center of San Francisco? It's mind-blowing. Something like this can exist. I know it's crazy, but it can. Apparently it can.
I will say that I'm really excited to meet people in person and just talk and laugh and eat food and stuff. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah. In a sense, other conferences, like other communities, have had to adapt to the pandemic, but I think the first like meetup style thing that we had was online. Like we're I don't know how to call it, lockdown native community.
Yeah.
We'll have to adapt to online events. That's to in-person events. That's gonna be amazing.
We're like all these children whose first school experience is on Zoom.
Oh God, yeah. Holy cow, that's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's try to get some question that is more on topic with the Zig Roadmap. Let's see, question for the Q&A. Will the stage 2 compiler be so fast and small that Zig could have an installer with source bundle distribution option? User installs app. Behind the scenes, embed the Zig compiles before the first time app runs. It only ships with the part of the standard library and the packages it needs.
So what? Okay, I'll say some stuff, but I want to ask a follow-up question for you to respond to while I'm going. What's the goal here? That's my follow-up question. But to answer the question, there's a optional LLVM component, and the default compiler that we are going to ship will have this included, and that makes the tarballs be about what they already are today. They'll be about 5 megabytes less, I think, but that's it. Because the Zig binary with LLVM is about 20-ish megabytes. Without LLVM, it's like 4. So I'm not sure. The official binaries we ship will not be small enough to do that. I can answer your question better if I understand what the goal is here.
Okay. I'll try to pick up the follow-up and relate to you, Andrew. So in the meantime, let's see other questions. How is it decided which features get into the Zig's bug stability program? Do you want to take it or should I?
You go ahead.
I think the answer is it's complicated. We don't know yet. Some things I think it's kind of obvious that we want to prioritize. Like there are some, or maybe not obvious is maybe too strong of a word, but there are some things that like there are a lot of advantages to want to support unconditionally. I think I guess like ZigCC is one example. Outside of that, there might be some other features that are super useful for a particular, maybe a company that could become a Zig champion today. If people make a bit of fun of Zig because they say there are no Zig jobs, they are dead wrong, because there are at least like 1, 2, 5 maybe Zig jobs out there, all the people in the core team. So first of all, they're wrong. But jokes aside, you get the point, right? They are kind of right. There are no Zig jobs. So we need to, since we don't have Google people, we don't have Amazon people, we don't have investment funds people in our board of directors, we have nobody that can open those doors for us. We have to kick the door open with the project being so good that you cannot say no. And I'm an expert of these proposals, like these offers that you cannot refuse. So we need something like this, and we need to do also I think the social effort of asking in the community if there's like anybody interested in this stuff. So what I think will happen is that we are going to send out some kind of survey. Like I'm saying survey, but I don't want to say like a Google form specifically, but we're gonna somehow find out what interest is there out there, and then make a decision on it. On one hand, making patch releases of Zig is a chore, takes effort away from the main development effort, but it can be worth it for one reason or another. One could be that this can allow us to get a sponsor that we would not otherwise have, and this sponsor can basically pay this effort, right? And even more by allowing us to have more core contributors contribute more time. Or it could be not a monetary thing. It could be, as I was saying earlier, a different thing where we can start saying, well, is anybody using Zig in production? Yes, because this giant company is using it for a very serious use case. Or it could be something else that we decide based on other reasons. So I think there is some discretionality there, and we don't have yet a precise answer. We probably will not have a like super precise answer either. But the point, which I think is the core idea, is that this is a tool for us to drive adoption of Zig. We need to be deliberate about this. It's not going to happen over time. There was a discussion in the handmade community, I think today, where a few people were saying that like Zig is not even a blip on the radar, and Rust, despite being everybody mentioning, besides being even if Rust is on everybody's mouth in the tech spaces, it still only has made a minor dent in actual like enterprise adoption, and that's a sad truth. That's very scary for communities like ours, since even then Rust is a super big thing, and we're not there yet. So we need to be deliberate, and we need to be smart about it. So that's where the Zig stability program comes into play, plus other things that maybe will come up in the future.
I'll tell you what our superpower is, though. We are an extremely lean organization. No money is going to waste, and we are making extremely efficient use of resources. So Zig can survive and thrive even if it remains small. So that is something that we uniquely are equipped with.
Okay. Next, let's see. Let me scroll a little bit slow so I make sure I don't miss any. Luna is proposing Brazil. Rukas is saying Brazil
Ooh,
too.
I
Jacob is
like that one.
Jacob has a bunch of good ideas. So one was in your home.
In my house.
Yeah, he's pointing out that there seemed to be a lot of space in that room. So he was thinking in that room specifically. But then I guess he changed his mind and he said Italy. So I'm fine with that too. Matt is pointing out that we can blaze it in Canada. What does
Oh,
blazing mean? Well, you'll explain it
it
to me
means
later.
420.
It means 420.
420 blaze it.
Let's see. Oh, Zach's now, of course, is saying there's a place called Zig in Iran, so we should go in Zig, Iran.
Whoa. Okay.
Let's see. Question for Andrew: who unblocks you when you are blocked? Whoa.
Myself. Yeah. It's kind of like how compiler has to compile itself. I have to unblock myself.
That's a very deep question. Well, I think you mentioned a couple of times though that for some things the community has provided like an implementation that you would have not done yourself. So
You know what? That's an even better answer. I like that even better. And that's true because the amount of work that people are doing is incredible right now. It's even especially on the self-hosted compiler. Um, the work that Jakub has done on macho linking, I don't know. It's something that I wouldn't have been able to get to for years, probably. Um, the ARM backend stuff, the WASM backend stuff, all that stuff I've already mentioned. I didn't do it. Someone else did it, and it works well, and it's progress, and that's awesome. Translate C is almost entirely maintained by Vexu. So yeah, I mean that's the real answer.
There's another great question. This one is from Slimsag. Where do documentation improvements, both standard library and in general, fall in this roadmap?
They fall by the wayside. Serious answer is it's just not a priority right now. The thing is, things are changing so rapidly that any like a lot of the documentation would just have to change. So we got the core language documented. We got the standard library is changing really fast. I'm personally not prioritizing documentation at all at this time. That's something that I consider important, but more late stage in the strategy. It's just opportunity cost. That's all. I already think that we're paying a huge amount of opportunity cost for not working on the package manager right now, or not having the package manager right now. So I want to avoid that opportunity cost first. What happens with having low quality documentation is some amount of gatekeeping, where it's less newbie friendly, and that is a problem. I don't want to do newbie gatekeeping, but on the flip side, it does make us grow more slowly. If we had a lot of newbies come in really fast, I would want to be able to take care of them and provide them the experience they need, give them personal help, just like really take care of that user story. And I just don't have the resources to do it. So it's almost kind of like serving as a warning sign that if you come in here, it's going to be a little rough. So like get ready. We don't want it to be rough, but it just kind of is. I don't know. It kind of is a strategy to decide carefully at which point you start to like really, drop the gates and make the documentation like pristine. You know what I mean? So it's a fine line.
Okay. I think I want to add something on my side. I guess I have been trying to make some things more friendly than they were before. Of course, there are limits in what I can do. Like the website, I think it's better now, and I think that the new level of friendliness is appropriate. I think that we can compensate. So if you remember what the Andrew was pointing out in the first point, where you can change you can tweak, you can influence the prioritization, like the roadmap, by doing the work yourself. And I personally am interested, for example, in the auto docgen stuff. Like you won't see me contribute a backend to the self-hosted compiler. People that know me probably are not surprised by this statement, but a backend, as in a backend that generates machine code. But I am interested in the auto docgen things, and I've been working a little bit on this, by the way. I haven't mentioned it earlier, but in the process on working on the website, I extracted a piece of code that Andrew wrote for the language reference, and I packaged it as a separate thing. It's on GitHub. It's called I called it doc test, and basically it's a piece of code that takes a code snippet and tests it, given some configuration that you provide to it. So the idea is that it's a testing framework, but not as in like the Zig unit test syntax construct that you have in the language. For example, this doc test can test expecting failure, expecting a compilation error, expecting a crash of the executable. And this is meant to basically power things that are showing you syntax, but are also showing you examples of how things go wrong, which is what is on the website. Like if you go into the in-depth overview, you will see a few examples that showcase how some errors are catched at compile time, how some other errors are catched at runtime. And this is all powered by Zig doc test, and this was integrated with the website so that now we have this running as a CI. So every time a new Zig build is produced, like the so-called nightly, which is not nightly, but it's more often, but like the build from the master branch trigger a rebuild of the website, which in turn tests all the code snippets so that we don't have any more outdated code snippets on the website. It's not perfect, but it's a great improvement compared to nothing that we had before. So this tool, Zig doc test, it's a tool that is super nice, not just for the Ziglang website, but also if you are writing a Zig book, for example, wink wink, and you should write a Zig book, you can use this so that it helps you basically keep your book up to date, which is something that especially now is particularly needed. So circling back to the original stuff, I am personally interested in documentation things, and I think I might be interested in taking up Andrew's offer on tweaking the roadmap by sending up a pull request for the auto doc generation stuff. The problem is the auto docs stuff depends on the compiler implementation. Like right now, autodocs is basically a big JSON file that contains a bunch of definitions of all the symbols defined and everything else. And this is generated by the compiler itself. It's C++ code. I'm not touching C++ code. So I'm waiting for stage 2 to be good enough so that then I can see what I can do there. If you're interested, let me know. We can collaborate on this, by the way. The Showtime Discord server has a bunch of channels dedicated to community projects. Like there's a channel for Ziggler, there's a channel for Bork, the chat project that I presented earlier. And I think at one point I'll start a channel for the doc work, maybe, if I actually go through with it. So yeah, I guess that's my take on it.
Sounds great.
Okay, let's see. Don't we have Zig in production already? Oh yeah, the ziglang.org website does run partially on Zig, so that's definitely for sure. We also have a Ransentin. So I think we have even more people that actually are using Zig in production. It's just that they, like, they don't. Their headquarter is not in San Francisco. So are those even real companies? I'm not even sure. But we'll get there. We'll get the clout we need.
That's
Maybe
right.
one day. Hot take: the foundation should stay independent from GAFAM, Google,
That's
Apple.
not even a hot take. That's just my regular take.
Oh yeah. Yeah, so not like, so just so you know, we are not against these companies investing in Zig if they want to, but we do have like Y Combinator has, like, I think a standard offer when you get accepted into Y Combinator. We have our own version of that, and it's however amount of money you want to give us in exchange for 0 shares and 0 board seats. Take it or leave it.
Yeah, I mean, don't get us wrong. Like, we're gonna provide a great tool that you're probably gonna want to use. You just don't get any strings attached.
Yeah. Replying to Andrew's follow-up question. So the point of source bundle with Zig compiler is to get the maximally optimized version of the application based on available CPU features. For certain tools, that's important, like AVX2 is available.
I kind of missed the first part of that question, but there's an issue, I believe, that fully addresses this, and it's called what is the glibc or the GCC name for this? It's called function. I don't know. Anyway, there's an accepted proposal to detect CPU features at runtime and swap in versions of functions that take advantage of these CPU features. We'll
Holy
get there.
cow.
We're not there yet.
Okay, that's cool. I had no idea. I completely missed that. If anybody knows the issue number, please put it in chat. I think it's interesting. Okay, let's see. What else? Joachim is saying, I wouldn't describe the ARM backend as works well yet, but it's coming together slowly. That's nice.
Follow up to the previous one. It's number 1018, function multi-versioning. I believe that is the answer to the question.
Thank you. June has a kind comment on the website. The website is great. Thank you.
Oh, that's nice. It is great. Didn't Loris do a great job? I think he did a great job.
Thank you. Thank you. You see, it's sometimes it's worth it learning all the HTML crap. But
we got to replace Hugo with a Zig project, though. I feel a lot of cognitive dissonance in my brain that we use Hugo.
Yep. But we need it to be like featureful. So if you do attempt it, let us know, because like there is a checklist of things that we need. Like one, for example, is internationalization. And on that topic, by the way, we have Chinese, we have Portuguese, we have English. I think somebody sent also a crappy Italian translation, and I think German is coming up next. So that's also nice.
Yeah.
So let's see next. Other questions? I think there are no other questions. Oh no, Isaac, no, there's no channel for Ziggler. But if you want one, we can make it. Like, if you want to collaborate with other people, we can make a Ziggler channel in the Showtime Discord, and sure, collaborate away. Right now it's like I haven't like officialized a way to no, I'm okay. Okay then. But if anybody wants to have a channel, just let me know. I would say it's like maybe I will want to kind of know you a little bit, but I'm super open to make a leap of faith and give a channel. Right now, these channels are basically the result of a few people coming together and deciding to do things together, or my stupid things like Borg, because I want everybody to know. That's it.
Yeah. For people who are watching who are not already regulars, there's one thing that happens to us fairly regularly where just like a new person comes in and then they just start trolling everybody, and then we have to go through this whole process, and it's annoying. But then most of the time, new people come in and they're great. So it's like every time a new person wants to make a proposal, I just have to go like scroll up and see like, are they being nice? Okay, yeah, they're good. Or like, are they trolling everyone? Okay, they're trolling me right now. So like, if you want to get a favor done, you want a channel, you want this, you want a proposal, this or that, it's all good. Come in, just like be nice to people for like 5 minutes, and then do your thing. That way, I know you're not just like a troll who just created a new account and came in. Just
Yeah.
come in and be a normal, nice person and say hi and stuff like for a couple minutes, and then when you ask for a favor, I just scroll up and go, okay, they're normal.
Okay, I think we answered all questions. Let me see if I'm missing anything. Oh, I have a ping on Discord. Who's mentioning me on Discord? Let's see. Oh, it's Hayes is pointing out that he wants the first meetup to be in New York because New York is cool. Okay. Do you agree?
You know
Andrew?
what though? So I've lived in New York and I've had Killer Queen tournament meetups. And the problem is that your friends all come in and they all need places to stay, and it's all expensive. And nobody has room to house people. Like we can't all just go sleep on Hayes's floor. He probably has, like a 0-bedroom apartment and no floor space in New York.
And there's a bunch
No
of
offense, Hayes.
boxes of Apple stuff on the floor. So
Oh,
like
no.
it's even more cramped.
I'm just saying it might be nice to pick a place where people stay somewhere,
Okay, I think we are good. We answered all the questions. I think we can call it a day. So thank you everyone for being here. Andrew, any last words before we end the first Zig Showtime episode of 2021?
For great justice.
For great justice. Nice. Well, thank you everyone again, and see you soon.